Morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to you live here in Malaysia from Johor Bahru, the Dato Harjit Singh Johor Cricket Academy in Oval. Of course, kicking off things with everything here. at the Seahawks and Malaysia 11 tournament. And it is the first T20, one of the three T20s that will outline this wonderful series that is about to happen. And before we get on with live action, we'll have to figure out what happened at the toss. And here's controls over to the toss.
Hit. Theo. Malaysia call. Toss. You got to call. Okay. Come.
Tails.
Tails a call. Tails. See how we.
You look the bat first.
Okay. All the best.
All right.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
The toss, and both the skippers are out there, and it is Malaysia who's eventually now being deciding to bowl first, and it will be an interesting turn of events as the day goes on. And joining me in the comm box is my good friend. In fact, good morning to you, Baba. Well, the scenes here at the Johor Bahru, Dr. Harjit Singh Oval Stadium, has been quite melodramatic over the past 2 hours. Quite ample amounts of rain have been pouring down here at this lovely turf. The weather gods have been kinder to allow us a 15 over locking of horns between these two tightly interlocked teams. A lot of cricket being played between Malaysia 11 and Seahawks over the past 2 years. And Malaysia cricket humbly hosting such games, allowing for cricket to continue to flourish and grow in the country. It will be lovely scenes as we continue to play cricket, grow cricket in this lovely region, Southeast Asia. Wonderful country to visit, and equally growing, catching on cricket culture here in this part of the world. And it'll be Akram for Malaysia who will take control of the first delivery. No surprises there, of course. Jagadisan Narayan for his team to bat first. In comes Akram. Ball holds the shape. What you will notice about today's proceedings is that there will be a lot of different things to assess for both teams, because it is not the conventional 20-over game. With the game coming down to 15 overs, the power play by nature comes down to 4 overs as well. So it is indeed going to be interesting how both these teams pace their proceedings as we go on. Well, taken on the loft, hit hard, hit over the infield. There'll be a lot of work to do, but the damp outfield ensuring that the ball holds up as first runs on the board for the Seahawks. Joining me in the comm box is Babashish. Morning, Babashish. Malaysia 11, captained by the strong Jagadisan, been in Malaysian cricketing circles for quite some time now. Jagadisan, in fact, that's the Seahawks skipper. Seahawks, of course, very prominent team in the Malaysian cricketing circle. Comes Akram once again this time. Lovely action onto the front foot. They'll get through for a single, the Seahawks. A very competent outfit, and which is why Seahawks have been regularly touted to lock horns with the Malaysian national outfit. And they play with a lot of pride on any given day, and you can see that the technical acumen in terms of their batting has been nothing short of good. In comes Accra. Wide shot. Should have cut it over point for four. There's no fielder placed on the wide boundary there. It's runs written all over it. But, to close it down on the leg side and yielding anything, nothing. As you can see, Akram shining the ball off his sweat. Indications that it's quite humid out there. It's quite hot out there despite the early onslaught of showers we had. End of the first over. Seahawks looking in control. Oh, scoreboard end. Change in the bowling for Malaysia. Spin introduced. First up, and no surprises there. They're sticking to their conventional plans. Nothing new from the ordinary. And it is the new bowler who's decided to take controls of everything that's happening. Yeah. Vijay, the new bowler for Malaysia. Vijay Suresh, skipper himself, bringing him on. There he comes. Starts off with not too much drama, but have him very much in mind. Seahawks, they'll know whom to target, whom not to target. These players play a lot of cricket in the circuit, some of them together. And I can tell you one thing, both these teams take a lot of pride. Seahawks, for all their reputation as a domestic contender in Malaysia's domestic circuit, they take a lot of pride in the kind of cricket they play. This time takes the edge and the ball will trickle down towards the third man boundary, but fielder as well make sure that the total stays with only two added. Vijay Suresh to continue from the scoreboard end. 72 on his back, the Malaysian skipper. Very tall action. Stands, uses all his height to generate that bit of extra difference for the batter to negotiate with. And it's not easy. The new ball is pretty speedy. And there's not much on offer for the bowlers. As I say, takes it on the full and drives it with complete conviction. The Seahawks opener. And is asking to be hit that delivery. 4 more to the Seahawks total. This has been a very good start from them. In comes Vijay Unisuresh. Drops it short. Goes for a quicker delivery on that occasion. Textbook spinner's response. Head of the over. Seahawks motoring along. Well, as change events happens. Good morning yet again to my friend joining us from India, Babashish. Hope the weather is kind to you there. Akram to continue. I think wonderful pictures being brought to you here. The MCA production team here, they're doing a fabulous job with the resources at hand. And, it's never easy bringing to you an end-to-end ball-to-ball coverage. Akram, this time. So it's slightly wide of off stump, but no harm done to anybody. Pictures brought across the world. And, it's a mighty tedious job. Facilitate the kind of production that is with the limited resources available. And commentary teams joining from across the world. Myself here from Sri Lanka and Baba joining from India. In comes Akram. Drops it short, gets onto the back foot, tops for a quick run, but still placed a bit too deep to effect any sort of trouble for the batter who's running. Quite surprising that we had a stall of rain earlier in the day. And Akram steps down the wicket and slaps it across the covers. Shot and a half that. 4 more runs to the total. They're looking really good in Malaysia. They need a wicket quick here. Need it quick. They need to come fast because it's getting too easy for the Seahawks as of now. Akram doesn't look particularly threatening by any and all means. Batsmen have been able to comfortably leave him or play the attacking shot. Comes Akram once again. This time full driven, but half a shot on that occasion. Goes down to mid on and kept through for a single. He's looked really good here. The Seahawks openers will continue to provide that impetus if they're not dislodged early. And Vijay would be really, really mindful of the threat that is looming with the Seahawks. Not any spring chicken to the trade this time, or well wide of the batter, but umpire is not signaling wide on that occasion. Akram. End of the third over. Vijay Suresh continue. 23 years of age, previously part of Malaysia's under 19 squad. Hails from Selangor, played for both Northern Strikers and Southern Hitters. Of Malaysia's most consistent wicket takers. He's played more than 80 T20 games for the country over the past 4 years. Here comes Suresh once again. Drops it full, driven over the infield. That'll be 4 more. And back to his story. Making his international T20 debut against Papua New Guinea in 2022. He's a standard performer in the Interstate Premier Cup just 2 months ago. This time drops it at a length, swept well behind square. This is getting a bit too easy for the Seahawks. Malaysia have a lot of thinking to do. Suresh will have to soon add to his tally of 88 T20 wickets if he wants to have Malaysia stand any chance of chasing this down. Suresh to come in. Driven really well through the covers. The fielder will have a bit of work to do and does really well. Interesting to see the umpire's call on that. Come back for a third. Change of angle. Now skipper of the Malaysian outfit was captain of the under 19 squad as well. And, played major regional tournaments. Usually entrusted with that role in the power play. And, very good with his flight and deception. Very competitive customer. This time drops it on the full, swept again. We have work to do in the square boundary. It's a kind of player that hasn't forgotten his roots of Indian origin. Vijay, very competitive and notably recognized for his competitiveness against some of the better placed regional rivals like Hong Kong. Suresh to continue. Right arm over the wicket, around the wicket to the right hand. Drops it short and hit really hard. This is becoming a one-sided affair here at Johor Bahru. Suresh being taken to the cleaners. This is not looking nice for the Malaysian skipper. And the Seahawks well and truly in control here. End of the 4th over. Change in the bowling. Malaysia Akram being taken out of the attack, and is understandable, not particularly penetrative. Azri Azhar Amaluzzaman, right arm medium bowler, is 20 years of age, playing for the Malaysian men's team. Rapid on that occasion, but goes across the keeper. A lot of work have done. He's developed his skills in the Bukit Jalil Sports School and has played for various regional franchises. Azri Azhar got his deserved T20 international call-up at the raw age of 18 in August of 2024. Here comes Azri Azhar once again, drops it short and pulled with conviction. No mercy from the Seahawks batters. Yet again, lack of ability to stick to a threatening, consistent line and length with patience has been put to the test here. He's definitely a better bowler than that Azri. Had some stunning performances in the domestic circuit as well. Very consistent wicket taker in the T20 Super Series and is lauded for that 7-wicket haul against Kelantan not so long ago. And hasn't been able to replicate the same level of success at the international level, just 4 wickets in his past 13 games. Hasn't nearly bowled all his quota either. So it will be lovely to see the progression of the young gentleman as he comes through the Malaysian cricketing ecosystem. He's realigning his run-up, making sure everything's in place. Try to disrupt the momentum in different ways, and I think slowing the game down helps. Helps largely and a lot. A bit of a water break here for the players. And as the score reflects, 46 for none after 4 overs, going at nearly 12s. Seahawks. Narayan Jagadisan playing for the Seahawks. And you see on screen Narayan Jagadisan, who's no spring chicken, one of India's finest wicket-keeper batters, uh, firmly in line. Has always been around those conversations in the international cricketing circle. Interesting story about Narayan Jagadisan. His father sent him to Bombay, play on the challenging red soil pitches under Chandrakant Pandit. Chandrakant Pandit, of course, former IPL winning coach of 2024 for the Kolkata Knight Riders. And his tutelage is what Narayan Jagadisan has been subject to over the years, which is help him build and retain that rock solid technique. And make no mistake, he's the only first batsman in the history of List A cricket to score 5 consecutive centuries. Did that in the 2022 Vijay Hazare Trophy. Got a shattering 277 runs of 141 balls, overtaking Rohit Sharma's record of 264. Here comes Azri Azhar to Jagadisan once again. This time, huge appeal, but umpire not interested in anything more than that. Very, very capable batter. Jagadisan also played in the IPL, played for the Chennai Super Kings, was part of the Kolkata Knight Riders for a while. But, did eventually get that test call up for the Indian national squad after the injury of Rishabh Pant. And, was part of the Indian squad when they won that test at the Oval. Ball goes wide, but keeper does really well to collect. Okay. Well, good morning to my friend joining us from India. Morning, Baba. How's everything over there? And some wonderful cricket here in Malaysia.
Yes, and exciting indeed. Firstly, by the ground staff to get the ground up and running, and now for the Hawks to make use of the surface clipped away. And Yusuf, as you've been saying, they have been on a roll that's gone all the way for 6.
Amit Satwik picking that up with utter disdain. And that's the first 6 of the innings.
I'll have to tell you, Yusuf, I was really surprised with the decision to go ahead and bat first in these conditions. But looks like they know these conditions like their backyard here. They knew that the pitch was covered. It's still rock hard. It's coming to the bat. And to be honest, Malaysia 11, well, they've been a little, well, short in terms of their bowling rhythm. They've been too short or too full. In comes once again wayward down the leg side. That's been the issue for them. I picked that up in the first few overs as well when you were really up on that too, that they started bowling wrong lines. And now in this format, one thing leads to another.
Azin Ferreira, very less. Man on your screen. So already earned his Indian national call-up. To the decent. In comes Azri Azhar. The decent, his father, somebody who's believed in incredibly hardcore cricketing grounding, has kept an empty frame at their house in Chennai that was reserved for the day that Jagadisan wore an Indian jersey. And that frame is now full. Lovely moment for the batter from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, another quick run there. That's been the hallmark of this partnership. While they've got those big shots away, the calling has been clear. They've ensured that they've rotated the strikes. So the pressure is on from both the ends here.
Amit Satwik also on the touring squad. He's ably supported Jagadishan, 22 of 12 for him. He's played for the I Dream Tirupur Tamilans in the Tamil Nadu Premier League Championship title.
That looked like it just got inside the cut strip. Was not far away from missing the cut strip altogether. Mohammad Azri just finding a little difficulty in gripping the ball, perhaps. The sun is out, but you can understand parts of this outfield will still be patchy, will still be wet, so the ball will get softer. And as a seamer, you need to have supreme control over that ball. Now down the leg side. Yes, Satvik and Jagdishan just making life really difficult for the bowlers here. Once the pressure is on, they just start bowling to either side of the pitch, and that's never a good thing, Yusuf.
Absolutely. I think Satvik is also the kind of batter who's merciless once he gets going. He's known for his prolific run scoring, especially in the age group, both in the under 19 and under 25 state levels. Very aggressive, fearless batsman. He's played second fiddle to Jagadishan today, though.
That one rushed onto him. That's the end of the over then. And as Yusuf mentioned, Hawks are well on their way to get a big one here. $60 for no loss. The Pacers have travelled, the spinners have travelled so far. Yusuf, I get a feel that the kind of a surface that we have got here, you ought to be respecting that. And you got to just doff your hat to these two batters and make sure you're bowling away from their hitting arc. So far, we've just seen enough slot balls and enough slot mug shots for Satvik and Jagdishan. Looks like for the first time we'll have some wrist spin on offer. Rahim K will try and take the ball, spin the ball away from Amit Satvik here. Let's see how he
One of the more experienced bowlers here, Rahim Khan. Bin Malik drops it short and cuts it hard behind the covers. This is looking really, really solemn here for Malaysia. Look at that. Drops it short and nothing but Satvik could do but punish it.
Yeah, real bad ball, Yusuf. That's the last thing you want as the leggy, to start with something short and wide outside off, especially on a good surface like this. You got to be finishing within the stumps. You might not find a lot of turn, but keep the stumps in play.
Absolutely.
I tonked that one. We spoke about the line being a little straighter. Batter knew it too, came down the track and got the aerial route well over long on. Gigantic 6, 10 from the first two.
The one thing that, I've done my research on Malaysia. That's a lovely story that we can all talk about. In comes Rahim once again, drops it on a full length, go bang bang, Satvik, but no real connection to take it to the boundary. But the flip side of what I really love is looking at the history of Seahawks. They play in Tamil Nadu's first division league, and for me, what's so surprising, in fact, fascinating, is kind of ecosystem that Indian cricket has. You look at the Seahawks; they're a team that play in the first divisions. From the national setup, the Ranji Trophy, the Duleep Trophy, all that incomes are Rahim once again. From all that structure, even at the state level, there's so many levels of hierarchy through which players have the opportunity and must come through in order to feature even the top levels. And the Seahawks, despite being team that plays in the first league, Baba, they still have internationally capped players in them. Goes to show the nature of Indian cricket's competitiveness at this point in time.
Absolutely, Yusuf. And what has happened in the last 3-4 years or so is that they have found another level beyond the club cricket structure there is. So, in terms of domestic structure, now corporate cricket as well plays a massive part. So, some of these international players are seeping into that level as well. So, players are coming in, blooded into the system, and they're rubbing shoulders with the best of the India colors. 6 overs done, 73 for the Hawks here. Yusuf, you were mentioning in terms of... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, please, Baba, please go on. Yes. I was wanting to ask you the same question, and I think you're addressing.
Yes, and I was just my whole experience of playing a little bit of club cricket in different parts of India. As you mentioned, the south of India is where we see as the most competitive. Especially in Tamil Nadu, in places like Pondicherry, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, you see club cricket runs down to mostly 5 or 6 levels there is, and most of those teams are extremely competitive. We see that in parts of north as well, mostly in the west and east. It's a little more concentrated towards playing first class cricket, but other parts of the country it's different. Left arm spinner now, tossed up nicely. Another top shot that is in the gap, racing along for 4.
Satwik, he's now really settled into it, and he's looking really good now. Amit Satwik doesn't need any second invitation. He's well known, and his fearless endeavors are well documented. He's not showing any sort of mercy to Amir Azim. Malaysia bringing in multiple bowling changes, but none of them yielding so far.
And another bad ball to start the over. We saw from the leggy, he started with a short and wide ball outside off. Now Amir, well tossed up over pitch, just on off stump. This is really buffet bowling right now, and you don't want that. Oh, full toss again. Hit me ball, hit me please, but hits it straight to the fielder. Finally, something works. Malaysia 11, after being toiling hard for half an hour or so, it's a real full toss that has got them their first wicket.
I don't think Amir Azim expected a wicket of that delivery. He had already given up, but Satwik played the right shot but didn't play it in the right direction. And he goes for a well-made 39 of 19. And the 25-year-old Azim Shakur has got the first blood drawn for Malaysia.
Yes, Yusuf, let's hope they take a little bit of time and regroup here. The captain, who's a spinner himself, he should be really taking this opportunity and congratulating the young lad, but of course talking to the entire team that, hey, we've got a lucky break here. How can we pull things back in this innings? Remember, it's a 15-over-a-side encounter, and the way things are going right now, they could be still chasing a score very close to 200. They don't want that. And if they want to really pull things back, they should be a little more aggressive here. I know that might leak a few boundaries, but current run rate is 12 right now. So have maybe one more fielder inside the circle for the new man in, find a catching fielder. Oh, it's a left-hander. So match up straight away in favor for the number 3 batter. But if you're Malaysia 11 right now, you must be looking for wickets, because that is the only way you can stem the flow of runs.
Absolutely, Baba. And I think the other side of this whole scenario is that Seahawks have been exposed to a level of beating that Malaysia is still growing into. This time taken on the full, and Sachin opens his account with a six first delivery, and no mercy shown at all. All flighted but loose. That doesn't get any easier. It's a welcome to the crease with a bouquet of flowers, and gladly accepted by Sachin on that occasion.
Yes, Amir Azim thought full toss might do the trick again, not to be. Sachin now thrashes that one towards that long on fielder. So he's off to a flyer. Jagdishan batting
Talking about
32 from 90. Yeah.
Talking about it earlier, I think we were speaking both of the. In fact, all three of Seahawks batters have at least played in the Tamil Nadu Premier League, which is still a very very competitive league, and few of them have gone on to play in the IPL as well or kept squad places. Jagadish himself an international player, so there is a distinct disparity in terms of a skill gap. I think it will be a largely learning experience for Malaysia cricket as they grow into the international cricketing scene.
Oh, absolutely. And no two ways about that. You can only learn so much in the nets, in practice sessions, when you're out there in the boiling heat of a current run rate close to 13, you learn the most. As young spinners, as young captains, and as boundary riders who have been well thrown off the radar so far. 7 overs are done, 85, but they've lost a wicket at least, Hawks.
Rahim to continue for Malaysia. One of the more experienced campaigners in the side, Rahim. He's made his international debut for Malaysia just last year. Since has been a regular feature of the team. This time, Jagadisan, he's now looking to throw the bat at everything. Rahim comes from the home state of Perak. And very distinct remembrance for all of those following Malaysian cricket is his performance in the grand final of the men's 50 over Interstate Premier Cup just 2 months ago. Picked up 4 for 41, taking that tournament winning wicket to get Johor out and secure a massive 166 run championship victory for Perak on this very ground.
Starts with a googly as well to the left-hander. We saw him bowling a few googlies to the right-handers as well, but they were not landing properly. To Sachin, he's landed that nicely, and that was in the air for a little while too. So Rahim slowly but steadily finding some confidence in this bowling spell, which is so good to see.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the hard truth about the T20 game is that you barely have any time to settle, and one loose delivery means you're going to be taken to the cleaners. He's learned it the hard way, but he's come back really well.
Might have picked up another wicket. Yes, short ball outside off. They've been getting out to some real ordinary deliveries, and Rahim will be delighted. Jagdishan was in the mood for murder. Got that short ball outside off, but belted that one straight to the cover fielder. That looked like an excellent bit of catch there. Wonderful hands, and that yields Malaysia 11 their second wicket.
Absolutely. Wicket number 2 now. And Seahawks have to be mindful as they come back after the drinks break.
Yes, just a little bit of a breather for Sachin, who is now the set batter, only 3 deliveries into his innings. Both the set batters are back in the hut as the Hawks will try and rebuild once again. They've got a launch pad for sure. Rahim floats that one way outside off and driven down the ground towards long off. Those kind of wickets, Yusuf, they do you a world of good. You might not have bowled a perfect length ball on the stumps, but a wicket is a wicket, and it's gold dust right now for Malaysia 11.
Absolutely. And I think the Seahawks have been the victims of their own success, and they can't let that complacency seep in as they go through the innings because they're very talented. There's no doubts about that. Even Balasubramaniam, Sachin, batting at number 3 for Seahawks, 22-year-old, very, very talented left-hand batter, very stylish player as well. And, he's very well renowned for his knock of 245 of 351 balls in a mammoth 557 chase. But we'll come back to that after this over. End of the 8th, Seahawks 89 for 2. Balasubramaniam, Sachin, better on strike. He chased down this very team, Seahawks Cricket Club, chased down a staggering monumental target of 557 runs versus Nelson Cricket Club. And he held the fort, 245 of 351 in that innings. And who else partnered with him was Jagadisan with 115, and then S. Lokeshwar. Very capable batters, these. They're good at attacking cricket, they're good at holding the fort at one, and incredible talent in Tamil Nadu cricket and by extension Indian cricket as well, Baba.
Yes, and what we are seeing right now is Amir Azim trying to spin the ball back into these two left-handers. I just advise him to bowl a few deliveries from the other angle if he can. Come round the wicket. There could be a bit of hold on the surface, so use the angle and then the spin. From this particular angle, it's a little more easier for them to. As Sachin just came down the track and bunted it for a boundary, it's a much easier angle for a left-hander if you're facing the left-arm spinner.
Absolutely, and I think the margin for error is going to be very less, and Amir will have to be very conscious about that because both these batters, once again, very capable. Even Vaidyanathan, who's on the other end, is a very, very capable batter. It's time, full toss, swept in front of mid-wicket, but fielder in place just for that. Very talented, capable handler of spin. Vaidyanathan. But a lot of the thinking and the scoring will probably be left to Sachin at the other end.
Yes, another thing I've noticed about Amir Azim here, he's bowled what, nine balls in this spell so far, and at least 4 of them, they've been full tosses. So just might try and bowl a few steps before the popping crease. That's something young spinners now tend to do if they're trying to correct their length when they're bowling a little too full. Those are the little things there. He's got that one perfectly. Look at the hang time on that ball. And at one point of time, the batter almost lost it while he was coming down the track. So that's what Amir Azim is trying to do. Get some hang time, get that ball just flighted up and let it hold up in the air rather than tossing full tosses. Last ball. Well bowled. Terrific end to that over. Started with a couple and a 4, but ended it beautifully with a 1 and a dot. Good comeback. 97 for 2 right now. Yusuf, just to add to your point as well, you were talking about the TNPL, the T20 tournament that happens in Tamil Nadu. What you see in that particular tournament is a plethora of surfaces. The surfaces in Dindigul that are extremely good batting wickets. Then you go to Chepauk, which is a belter sometimes, and then other times it just spins. And because of that, because having played on so many different kind of variety of surfaces, you expect these batters to have an all-round game, match up in favor, as Vijay Unni decides he needs to have a bowl because two left-handers are batting right now. So right arm off spinner to spin the ball away from these two starts with just a single.
I really love how you brought up that topic, because, see, for context, Tamil Nadu is one of the largest states in India. And to put it in context, I'll come back to that after this delivery. Once again, Sachin, equally adept at defense and at attack, and keeps rotating the strike. Tamil Nadu is a population of nearly 70 million people and twice the size of Sri Lanka, whose population is 21 million. So that is as much talent as a country can hold. New Zealand have a population of 5 million. So like you said, there is a plethora of opportunity and platform for the plethora of players that are in the talent pool in the state. And that is why teams like Seahawks are also, despite being in league cricket, show a very high level of skill.
Yes, and Malaysia only trying to replicate that while we were there. Very lucky to be in Kuala Lumpur not long ago. That's what we noticed. We went to different grounds. We went to the likes of Bahamas, Selangor Cricket Club. That has been hit inside out, not fully committing to that shot. And what we noticed in all those grounds is 5 or 6 surfaces almost in every ground, and not all of them were similar. Some were real mix of black and red soil. Some were actually taken down from down under in Australia. So Malaysia really trying to do the same thing. That looked like a good connection. Slog swept towards the manual scoreboard. That is first 6 of this partnership, and it's come with a real good shot from Vidyanathan.
Once again, Seahawks leaving the barest of any margins for Malaysia cricket to work with. They've been relentless, and as they should be. And I think this kind of exposure will do a great deal of good for Malaysian cricket.
Yes, an important last ball for Vijay Unni here. Let's see how he finishes this off. I expect him to bowl this a lot slower. He's actually bowled that one quicker onto the stumps. Appeal for a leg before shot, but that was always missing leg stump. Another good over for the Hawks here. 10 overs are done, 2 down for 107 right now. Just noticing the miracle of Malaysia weather. Cast your mind back to what hour and a half it was raining cats and dogs, and you take a look at now, nice cool breeze, it's bright, it's sunny, and we've got a real run fest happening. Start of the 11th over. Here is the leg spinner, starts with a googly. That's been cut straight to the backward point fielder. Dot ball.
This has been a good recollection by the Seahawks. Sachin drops it on the full and dinks it over the cover fielders, and that'll be 4 more to the total. It's becoming really one-sided here. There was a brief period in which it looked as if the Seahawks were being held accountable by Malaysia's 11, but unfortunately for them, it's Sachin and Vaidyanathan who have been relentless in their commitment to keep that level of pressure and keep the foot on the pedal.
Yes, I love the way he leaned onto that last shot. Once again, leans down on one knee and hoiks it for more airtime for Sachin. He's done better. 4 from the previous ball, now 6 of that one.
He's now really settled into his groove, Sachin here. I think anything loose, he's not afraid to pounce on it, and given the fact that they have wickets to play with and also a few overs left, they're really, really going hard here. Seahawks, the Malaysia cricket, would have done a good job if they were to contain this total under 180.
Yes, you're spot on there. This looks like it could be another big over here. Better ball, much better ball, because he's got protection down a deep sweeper. So you can afford to bowl flatter outside off. That should have been the doctor's order right from the word go in this over. And it's taken him 4 balls to execute the plan. Back at the bowler, he's done really well to keep it within the grasp, but has grasped it eventually. Wry's smile on his face tells you that perhaps was half a chance.
Vaidyanathan on strike. Hit and hit hard once again. Both these batters are driving like a Formula One team here. Whatever that's there on the full and available to drive, they've driven with real confidence and verve. I think it's also the pitch that's not really done much for the bowlers, despite the showers, been kept protected. In the end of the 11th, Seahawks are teetering along for 119 for 2.
Yes, Yusuf, you're right. And what we might see in the second innings when Seahawks come out to defend the score is perhaps bowl with their seamers and go to a lot of change-ups, go to leg cutters, off cutters, because we haven't seen a lot of spin on offer so far for the spinners, at least in this set of these set of 11 overs. But I will be interested and keen to see if Azri Azhar, who's made a return right now to his second over, went for 19 in his first, can he go to a few change-ups here? Cross-seam deliveries into the surface, roll your fingers, see if you can really play with the rhythm of these two batters. Vaidyanathan K will be hoping he can tee off.
Absolutely. I think he's taken his time to settle in, and it's high time that he started getting back to ball. But on the other end, it's quite the sensible thing to hand over strike back to Sachin, who's looked very comfortable at the crease.
Yes, you're right. And Azri Azhar really got away with that mid-off up, and he bowled over pitch on off stump. Vaidyanathan must be thinking that he missed out on a boundary count there. Needs to pull the length back for Sachin. Nicely bowled. That's the ball, Yusuf, I'm talking about. Into the surface, hard length, change of pace. Can we see more of that?
It's about making the batters think. If you keep playing the same note again, then the batsmen are going to sing the same tune. You need to make sure that you keep that bit of unpredictability, have that bit of skill, given those change-ups, and then even at the most conventional deliveries, the batters might struggle to read it, like you rightly pointed out, Baba.
Rightly so, that mid-off has been pushed back to long off after that first ball that Azri bowled, and that has only given them a single. Straight away, you can see a pacer being brought back with a bit of change-up, and only 3 singles from the first 3 balls. So maybe somewhere down the line, the captaincy has been a bit of a miss. He could have perhaps restricted the spinners and gone to his pacers slightly early. Fourth ball. Oh, poor delivery down the leg side. Nothing on that one. Will be a wide. You can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to cramp him for room, but bowled it way down the leg side.
Azhar been quite expensive in that first over, but has done well so far. I think it's the first boundaryless innings of the over, but not done yet.
He's created an opportunity here. Oh, just away from the skipper. I thought he tracked it down really well, and right at the last second, looked like there's a bit of gush of wind or something that has pushed the ball away from him. But again, a change of ball, and it almost got them a wicket.
Absolutely. That slight bit of thinking, that slight bit of deception can really get the batters thinking. And once you have intercepted thinking line of the batters, then you have their minds clouded, and that's what you're seeing.
Once again, the slow delivery. Azhar has got the plan spot on in this over. And you are right, Yusuf. This perhaps will be the first boundaryless over, and that is a win right now for Malaysia 11. Good comeback from Azhar. He'll have a lot to take out from that. Oh, he's still got a ball to go. So let's hope I haven't jumped the gun here. Needs to finish well here.
Absolutely. Final ball coming up. Vaidyanathan on strike. He'll want to make sure that there's a boundary off this ball. Comes down the ground, but really well bowled on that occasion. Followed the batter, Mohammad Azhar. Fantastic over given the circumstances. 127 for 2, 128 for 2 at the end of the.
Yeah, that is very, very impressive indeed. These are the little moments that Malaysia 11 will look at and understand how they can determine growth in this format. Right now, Yusuf, you would know that T20 is perhaps the most global format in our beautiful game. They're trying to restrict the 50 over format right now, at least as far as the World Cup is concerned. But T20 cricket, well, that is open. That is open for a lot more countries, and we are hoping more and more countries will be coming in as far as the world event is concerned. So Malaysia now will be trying to learn from these little moments. The way Azhar came back, used his change-ups, he will now pass it on to other seamers in the camp. And as a bowling unit, they will get better, which is why this whole tournament is taking place. Start of another over. And Amir begins with a couple of runs. He's not happy with the effort there, but that was hit in the gap. And aggressive running from these two.
This has been good from Malaysia the last 2-3 overs. So again takes flight and hit with conviction, and that'll be 6. We can tell by the reaction of the batters.
Yes, terrific hit indeed. Yeah, Yusuf, I really loved the head position there. Although it was there to be hit, how well he did for himself by keeping the head down, by watching the ball till the very end. Right thing.
Have something to do now.
Yes, that's what I wanted him to do. Change the angle, and there could be a change of fortune. Went round the wicket to the left-hander, and that has worked. We asked for it, 15 minutes ago, and Amir Azam has learned the lesson finally, and that is so good to see. They're learning on the job here.
Really good. I think they're learning quickly, Malaysia. They've brought in those change-ups. They've been fearless with their implementation. They've taken initiative, and you can see the results finally yielding.
Yes, and just the way the Seahawks began with that opening partnership, Malaysia 11 will actually quietly be okay with this. 136 for 3, 12 and a half overs are done. If they manage to bowl a couple of quiet overs from here on in and, finish chasing somewhere around 160, then they will be delighted. It'll still be a hard chase, more than 10 runs per over in the second innings, but it'll be much better from what it could have been or how bad it could have been. So that tells you that they have pulled things back under pressure, which is so good to see.
Absolutely. Some good level of skill on display here.
New batter straight away has got his bat on the top of his left shoulder. That is always a sign that you're looking to take on the bowlers, you're looking to hit the big shots. Karthikeyan R it is, and quintessential stance for him. I can tell you that stance comes from baseball, Yusuf. A lot of the modern day batters now use that stance, and it comes from baseball. Vaidyanathan down the track, flat hit, can't stop that. Flat hit onto the side screen goes. Vaidyanathan decides it's his turn to tighten the screws.
I think, absolutely. I think you took that reference back to baseball, Baba. I think it comes largely with the fact that there's a lot of emphasis now placed on head position. You look at cricket back in the day, there is a degree of head leaning towards the offside. But the more the game has grown, especially with the T20 format being gung-ho, that head position has become even more important to access all parts of the ground. And it's a good lesson and a good reference to draw when necessary, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You spotted that perfectly. And we'll discuss that furthermore as they keep looking for the big shots taken on the full toss. He's hit that one in the gap too. Sliding effort, top stop. We've seen some good bowling, some smart captaincy, and now we're seeing them working really hard on the field too. Saved a couple of runs there. 13 overs are done, 12 balls remaining. They're 3 down for 143 are the Hawks. And just to build on that point, Yusuf, you spotted that perfectly. Plenty of emphasis now on their head position because they know for a fact that the kind of repetitions that these modern players do, if you're watching the ball well, everything else will take care of itself. Your hands will align themselves, your bat will come down properly. So all they're asking batters to do is keep their head, hands, and the bat inside the line of the stumps as they receive the ball. He's got his bat just outside off, but the ball was way down the leg side, so it'll be a wide or wayward throw. Oh yes, that has cost them one more run. So that's really something they need to avoid.
I think Malaysia have done really, really well. Anything below 180 was what we were talking as a good score. But they've done it really well. I think they were looking at 200 at a point. And this time hit straight to the fielder, but does well to stop the ball as it fell on him. The fielder has placed at deep square leg. I think Baba at 147 for 3. Given the circumstances, Malaysia would be happy.
Oh, absolutely. I would take that any day if I was on the field right now as Malaysia 11 and how the first 4 or 5 overs went. You're right. We were all looking at 180, but they pulled things back and now they have given their batters an outside chance here. Nicely bowled wide Yorker now from Azhar. He's flexing his wide ball skills. He looks to me as a proper death bowling option. Might not have executed the new ball properly, but his old ball skills have been spot on, Yusuf.
Absolutely. I think with the new ball, there's a bit of nerves when there's so much of skill on display as well. And I think they've nicely settled into their rhythm.
And no timing onto that one once again. Couple of runs.
On 49 for 3, approaching that 150 mark. And on the flip side, Baba, the Seahawks have only themselves to blame despite not losing too many wickets. They lost those 2 wickets at a critical juncture. That rebuilding took a bit of time, but they would have expected to score more given the position of authority they were in.
Also, Yusuf, I thought they became a little too predictable in terms of their batting ammunition. Left-right combination was only there, I think, once when Jagdishan batted with Sachin. Apart from that, it's either been 2 right-handers or 2 left-handers batting. So that makes it a lot more easier for the bowlers and the captain to plan. I think that's something the Seahawks can look at going deep in this tournament. Poor ball and punished. First real bad ball, he's bowled with the older ball, and you can forgive him for that boundary being taken down towards deep fine leg.
Absolutely. I think a shot that was asking to be hit. Karthikeyan, the new batter, hasn't had much to work with, but he'll have that responsibility to make the closing note is very audible.
Oh, length ball in the slot. You got to do better. Loss of confidence from that wide leg side-ish delivery has resulted him bowling a slot ball just outside up, and that's been thumped for a maximum. What started as a good over has actually ended being an expensive one. So down to the last over of this rain-curtailed game, and the Seahawks, they have marched on to 160 for 3.
Final over of the innings coming up. Malaysia will want to finish off on a high. They'll be happy that they've restricted them to this score, but they'll also be very mindful that it is already a challenging score to chase down. So any additional runs is only making the equation a bit more tougher for the home side. So it'll be on Akram. Bowl the first over and we'll do the closing duties as well. Vaidyanathan, he's set bet when he bowled up 18. Want to make sure that we get that elusive 175 plus score.
Yes, let's see if Mohammad Akram can actually bowl a few of those wide Yorkers. Starts with a Yorker, not wide, but on the stumps, and it's a good ball. Just a bit of a fumble from that boundary rider, but it's only a single. Good start to that last over from Akram here. I think that's got to be the length here, Yusuf. You can argue in terms of line. Sometimes you can go further away from the bat too, but terrific length to start the final over.
I think that's the good thing about good bowlers. Right? They work in pairs, as in not in bowling partnerships, but I'll come back to that after this delivery. Taken on the full and dinked over mid wicket. Fielder will cut it off. They work with the understanding that there's 2 parts to their game. First is the bowling line and length, and the other is the field. So you bowl in such a way that if in any case you miss by the small human margins that are possible, your field settings back it up. And what Akram has done so far in these two deliveries has been such, even if his length has been a bit off margins, they've still managed to cover it up with the field in place.
First time he's actually gone wider, outside off, and that has got him a wicket. Excellent change-up. Quicker Yorker on the stumps, slower delivery on the stumps, and now a slower one outside off. It's the bag of tricks from Akram that has delivered him a very good last over so far.
Absolutely, and just as I was pointing that out, he made sure that their fielding, their field settings back up their bowling, and he's done really well so far. Half the final over done. He's just considered 3 runs and taken that important wicket to start the game. Really good comeback here by Malaysia.
Yes, I've been thoroughly impressed with how Malaysia 11, they have held on to their nerves, being put under tremendous pressure by that opening partnership. And since then, a young bowling core, along with their captain, they have got their act together. New batter in, 4th ball of this last over. Bit of an outside edge, but there's nobody back. Down at deep point, so will be a boundary. First boundary of this last over, and that's come off a thickish outside edge.
That you can't really blame the bowler for. So you expect the batter to try and go for whatever ball that's available, and that is why you import. That's why it's important that you bowl well in different phases of the innings, because when the fortunes are not favouring you, your good bowling at those patches in the middle overs of the innings can compensate for that. So far it's been good by Akram in this final over.
Yes, Manikandan once again opens the face of the blade ever so slightly, and will only get 1 for that. And it's actually good for the Seahawks that the set batter Vaidyanathan will now face the last ball of this innings. 168 on the board right now. Akram will be hoping he can once again deliver that wide-ish, slower delivery. That's why extra protection now on the offside once again. So he's telegraphed the line at least. Let's see if Vaidyanathan can cover for that line. Oh, it's a bluff. He's actually bowled it down the leg side, and that will beat the short fine leg. Akram, last second of his delivery slide, decided to bluff the batter, and the set batter was ready for it. Eventually, Seahawks winning the toss, batting first. They have posted a mammoth 172 for 4. But Malaysia 11, as we discussed with Yusuf, they will be delighted that they have at least, if nothing, saved themselves 15 runs or so. 173 will be the ask then, Yusuf.
Exactly, 173 runs of the 15 overs. That's there. Will not be the easiest of runs to chase down, but these are the kind of challenges you sign up as you grow into the international game. And Malaysia will be absolutely rattled on one end, but they'll also be looking forward to try and see how they can explore and improve their skills as the innings goes on. So we'll be back with you right after this innings break with live action from the Malaysian innings. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's some high-octane cricket here. It'll be exciting to see, given that the momentum has swung sharply towards the Malaysian side of things after that stellar death bowling performance. But Seahawks, well and truly commanding affairs with the kind of score they have put up, and they'll be looking forward to make sure that they keep the share of authority as equal, or if not better than what was in the first innings, because regardless of what they eventually ended up with, it was a very commanding performance.
Yes, Yusuf, you're spot on there. 4 overs at least, where the Seahawks got more than 15 runs per over. One of them was actually a 20-run over as well, and all 3 of their batters, the top 3, got into 30s with a strike rate in excess of 150, that is, which is why that score looks a tall order for Malaysia 11. But what works in their favor is this surface. That surface looks rock hard. In fact, the outfield will be a lot better right now. Whatever dampness was there, this hot sun must have just soaked that. So all those things in favor of Malaysia 11 as we begin this run chase. A slip in position. Here is Kishore with a new ball. Wayward delivery will be 5 wides. The best possible start for Malaysia 11 then. Their opening bowlers found it difficult to control the new ball, and so are the Hawks. Off to a terrific start, Malaysia 11.
My goodness, that ball was way on its way to Tamil Nadu. All drifting away as the swing taking the ball away from the batter, the angle not really helping the bowler as well on that occasion, and Jagadish stood no chance if the ball flew down.
Hafiz clips the second one. That's gone all the way for 6. 5 wides of that first ball and a 6 of the second. They are up and running, Malaysia 11. This promises to be a cracker for run chase, Yusuf.
Look at that shot. He didn't even look at the ball. No look shot from Hafiz. Just maintained his position, and he knew it as soon as the ball connected back. That was well on its way to Kuala Lumpur.
And what that has done, Yusuf, is straight away the slip has been removed because the line has been a lot straighter. No way the slip will be in place. So he's got that man on the onside now. Needs to just pull the length back as well. Much better length. The irony is once the slip was removed, he's bowled that desirable line for that slip fielder.
Absolutely. And I think it is not the right move to take the slip off just after the guy. You know, Kishore has gone a bit wayward, but he's your star bowler and you need to trust him to hit his lengths and lines quick. It's a matter of one delivery. He gets it right and you'll break through that Malaysian top order.
Looks to be a predominantly in-swing bowler here, Kishore Ji. Yes, everything has come in. That's of a leading edge. Will be taken inside the circle. It's gone miles up in the air. Well tracked down. I could be wrong, but it looks like it's Sachin who's got the big buckets there. That's a loss of the first wicket.
Rush of dopamine from Mohammad Hafiz before he eventually fell. What was not the best of deliveries, just that bit of ambitious shot making, tried to go for that no-look flick over the square boundary yet again, but it was easy picking for Sachin. Balasubramanian placed that mid-wicket. That was for a well-made and very short stay, but given that impetus Malaysia wanted, now it's important that they carry on here.
Yes, it was Sachin who took that catch, and Yusuf, you are absolutely right. Once the line is outside leg stump, because you're already blinded by the line of the ball, it's okay not to look and hence play the no look. But if the line is well within the off stump and middle stump, Dave Watmore will have a lot to say about that. To Mohammad Hafiz Ayman, who got out to that average shot. Let's see if the number 3 can do better. It's been poked away towards that third region. Will be one.
Seahawks pulling it back now. And that's the ilk of good teams. They're not bogged down by those initial bursts of pressure. They're happy to go reevaluate, recalibrate, and run back in with the same attitude that they did in the first ball. Slip back in place now.
Apesh, gone. He gave the impression that the ball stopped on him, but it looked like he was late on the ball too. Kishore goes bang bang, 1 brings 2. Malaysia 11 now 2 down.
This is what you can't afford. You have to be more pragmatic with your stroke there. That was a nothing shot. Really checked his shot there, and the fielder was placed exactly for that kind of shot. Because you either throw the kitchen sink at it or leave it alone. That was a half shot, and he pays the price for that. Aslam Khan goes for a golden duck, and Malaysia well and truly in trouble now.
And from whatever little we have seen in these 4 balls, Yusuf, nothing wrong with the surface. In fact, that surface looks so good that batters would love to carry it around wherever they go in Malaysia. Kudos to the ground staff, to everybody who's been on the ground to make sure that it's bone dry and it's coming onto the bat nicely. It's just that the Malaysian 11 top order, somebody needs to, or at least a couple of guys, they need to really put their hand up and make sure that they make merry on this good surface.
Absolutely. I think especially given the power play and the kind of start they've already got, matter of connecting that ball and hitting those depths, and the runs will come. Once you have that burst of momentum, you can really build on that. And right now, they've bended it with 2 quick wickets.
Bodyline ball from Kishore to end a dramatic first over. 5 wides to start, 6 to follow, and then couple of wickets to pull things back. 2 down for 12 after the first over. Yusuf, we saw Malaysia 11 going to spin very early inside the power play. Do you think Hawks might do that? But or will they actually? And it looks like they're going to use the new ball and whatever little swing that is on offer with the Pacers.
Absolutely, I think more conventional than the Seahawks. They come from that league cricket background as well. They will go with their tried and tested the Mavericks up front, and no surprises there. Ruaram brought into the attack. And the other side to it is the paces are going to be most important with the new ball. So there's only so much that the new ball is offering at this round, and you have to try and maximize that. And with the 2 wickets falling, I think there's enough room between other fast bowlers as well.
Played it really away from the body and spirited effort from the backward point fielder. Jagdishan's expressions tells me that was catchable perhaps for that backward point fielder. And you're right, most of these bowlers from Seahawks, they grow up playing a lot of red ball cricket as well, where perhaps the new ball for the Pacers stays new for a longer period of time. So round about the first session or so, which is about hour and a half, you see only Pacers bowling in league cricket, in red ball cricket back in Tamil Nadu. So most of these players must have come from that background too. Dhruva also starting with that test match length, with that hard length. Oh, this time he's overstepped though. Trying to bowl the effort ball there, Yusuf. He's pushed that popping crease with his legs.
Absolutely. I think I like the point that you brought up, these players growing up in that red ball culture. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, Tamil Nadu is still, with their Premier League, their league cricket and their domestic cricket, still have a lot of emphasis on the red ball side of things. And it still stems from the large influence that comes from the origins of cricket in Tamil Nadu, where that, you know, English cricketing culture has really transformed and continued.
Yeah, once again, you see that red ball length. Yeah, go on.
And I think that's lovely. Even my visits to Tamil Nadu, one thing that I've noticed is that they take their cricket very intelligently. They're a very intelligent cricketing crowd, the Chepauk crowd as well. And I think it's a larger effect of that culture trickling down from the origins of cricket in the state, which is not probably as prominent in other states in India. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
No, you're spot on there. And alluded to that point as well, especially what I have noticed at least in the western part of India and the southern part of India is what my playing experience tells me that there is a lot of red ball cricket that happens up north and in the east where I am from. There's a lot more emphasis in terms of your white ball game, and that's why you see a lot of white ball cricket is actually produced from that belt too. But yeah, red ball is very much the king in the southern India. That is in the air, evades the inner circle fielders, and because that sweeper fielder was a lot squarer, that is, he's able to get to that. So just a single.
Absolutely. I think that conversation that we were carrying on, it goes to show how largely cricket is influenced by culture and vice versa. You still have that clubhouse culture going on in certain parts of Tamil Nadu, and then even here in Sri Lanka, certain venues really take their club and pub culture very, very seriously, and it's still something that's historically very joyously indulged upon. It has its lovely side to it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'll give you a very small but an example closer to my home. My own club that I go to practice, I will be perhaps heading out if we have an early finish at this particular game. And that dates back to pre-independence. And there are so many of these pre-independence clubs that you find in the south, in Chennai as well. Another no ball. Dhruva has been struggling with that front foot no ball. So that'll be another free hit. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of pre-independence. So we are talking pre-1940s. Those cricket club dates back to. So when you have that kind of a rich history, rich heritage, you're bound to produce talent.
Absolutely. I think ambassadors of cricket in these parts of the world, you look at the Sangakaras who've gone on to play big roles at the MCC, and Krish Srikanth is also a bastion of cricketing culture. All these kind of people who hail from these parts of the world. I think that goes to show the kind of influence it's had on the game there, where you see even the league level teams making tours like this across the globe.
Free hit, wonderful chance to get away from this deadlock. But it's a pull shot that's been hit straight to the fielder inside the circle. 2 overs are done, 2 down for 17 on Malaysia 11. As we continue to discuss the wonderful synergy of cricket and culture in various parts of the world, in India and in Malaysia, it's turning out to be a real melting pot right now as the Seahawks have reached the Malaysian shore and they are facing the Malaysia 11 in this first of the 3 T20 internationals. This one has been curtailed, shortened to a 15-over-a-side game where Seahawks won the toss and they raced away towards 172. In reply, off to a flyer, all right, but they have lost a couple of wickets. Yusuf, the rest of this power play is going to be so crucial for Ahmed and Mohammad here.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be make or break given the circumstances. And definitely, Kishore will have an eye on trying to get one or two more wickets.
What they might opt to do very early here is go to cross seam, because the seam up for Kishore has actually gone a little wayward. He started with a ball that was way down the leg side in that first over. Now it's really outside off. So I won't be surprised if Kishore just switches to a bit of cross seam bowling into the surface for the rest of this over. For this one, at least, he's going seam up once again. Played away defensively, soft hands, but won't be a run. But just to finish that point too, what I did notice in Malaysia as well while we were there, Yusuf, is that same thing where players, coaches from different parts of the world, they're coming in to make sure that the homegrown talent in Malaysia gets the best exposure. And there's no better way than learning by doing. That's what the Malaysian 11 is trying to do right now as they face Seahawks. That is cross seam there, and we expected that. And look at the way it just skidded through. Absolutely. Just making sure that he's using the new ball both ways. He's bowling it seam up. He's going cross seam to Kishore right now. Just making sure that he's giving himself the best possible chance with this new ball. Amir once again beaten for a bit of pace. No footwork as well. Those are the little things. So in fact, he's got a faint tickle. He's walked. He's taken the long walk back here. Kishore has switched to hard length outside off. No footwork whatsoever. Just hung the bat outside off. And it's a simple enough catch for Jagdishan. All of that happened in such of an anticlimactic manner that I thought it's just a dot ball. But it's Amir who's got to walk back to the hut. 18 for 3. As Seahawks can really take a little bit of breather, have a drink, and just think about how they're going to go about the rest of this defense. As far as Malaysia 11 goes, well, they really need to pull their socks here. Yusuf, 18 for 3. We were talking about them trying to make most of this power play. In fact, it's gone worse for them.
I think, their eyes lit up after those first two deliveries. Momentum. Couldn't have asked for a better start. Then since then, it's been clouded. That initial burst of joy, those two quick follow-up wickets have left them rattled, and that's what you're seeing in the indecision that's coming through with the wickets that are falling. And you've got to put your hat down to Kishore as well. After being expensive in those first two deliveries, he's done well to get his rhythm back and going.
Oh, you're spot on. And he's already shown variety. We've seen his supremacy with the seam of deliveries. The last ball looked like a cross seam bowled into the surface, hard length, and it just got a lot of bounce. Now for the left-hander, 2 slips waiting. Hawks on the attack. Around the wicket, he's bowled a peach. That is unplayable. The best thing for a new batter, that is that it swung away and it missed the outside edge.
It is the kind of delivery that if you do get out, then you really can't blame the batter. Just coming into the left-hander and then drifting away is so much that the batter can do to avoid that if the ball's got his name written on it. But good for the new batter, survives it.
Yes, and knowing Kishore, he will be hoping this next one actually comes in with the angle. Target the front pad. Yes, it does. And very lucky Mohammad once again brought the heavy bat down in time. Top over from Kishore so far. Last ball of this particular over. Both the slips will remain. Yusuf, I'll just come back to this point after this over as well. But important how Malaysia 11 now approach the rest of this innings, not just in the context of this particular game, but in the context of this series. Yes, that was well over the head, so wide. And my point is, well, there are two ways of looking at it. 154 needed from 73, required run rate closing to 13. Let's go all out, all guns blazing, and it doesn't matter if we get bundled out for 60, 70. Now, I don't think that should be the right approach. Take your time. Your top 5 batters at least need to be facing most of the remaining deliveries. So it's okay if you finish with 120, 130, doesn't matter, but at least take that time. Oh, that looks very straight. But perhaps with the angle, it was going on to miss leg stump. 3 overs are done. In a tricky pickle right now, Malaysia 11, 3 down for 19.
$19 for 3, Malaysia. The last 17 balls have only yielded 7 runs. And, it is important that they play these games down in chunks. The good chasing teams usually are able to manage their phases. They're able to break it into smaller chunks. The required run rate is a challenging equation. 13 overs left, 154 to get around. 13 runs per over required. That definitely means at least 2 boundaries every over. It really becomes a problem when your mindset is looking for 6 boundaries every over, which seems to be the case with Malaysia right now. You can look for those 2 boundaries and keep rotating the strike. Those extras, those little bits will eventually pile in. And it's a good wicket to bet on. No demons out there. It's just will require some solid batsmanship that'll have to be crafted.
Spin for the first time. Left arm spin in the form of Sanjay M. And he's got hardly a run up, Yusuf. And as a batter, this really, it's something that irritated me when bowlers don't have a run up because there is no time to get ready. By the time you tap your bat, you relax your shoulders, he's already there to the bowling stride. That's something these two batters need to be wary of.
Sanjay Yadav, the bowler, is for Seahawks. He'll want to make an effect on affairs. But very simple bowling action, keeping it very simple. Left arm orthodox. And has also been part of the IPL, played for Mumbai Indians and the Kolkata Knight Riders as well. And plays for the Nellai Royal Kings in the Tamil Nadu Premier League. Many a match-winning spell recorded by him. I knew this was a Sanjay Yadav, but I didn't expect it to be the same one who played in the IPL. But goes to show the depth of cricket in Tamil Nadu and India at large.
Yeah, especially from the pedigree of turn that he's induced already, that tells you he's giving it a real grip here. Oh, beaten the outside edge of the batter. Mohammad has faced a few beauties from the time that he's come out to bat. And it looks like he's a kind of a batter who stays leg side of the ball. So far, that's served him well. Stays leg side of the ball once again and cuts that one for 4. That's his first boundary and a good one. That'll bring him some positivity. Ends the over with a boundary then. 4 overs are done. 3 down for 26, Malaysia 11. In fact, looks like it will be spin from both the ends now. That first over that Sanjay bowled, you were right, Yusuf. He got a lot of purchase, and I think Seahawks they are going to their other spin bowling options. Quick chat with Jagdishan. I think they'll be hoping to make life difficult for these two batters, and for these two batters, for it's a wonderful opportunity to face some quality spin.
Without a shred of doubt. I think they have to be exposed to high levels of cricket, which is why the MCA is also investing in these kind of programs. The initiative taken to uplift the culture of cricket in Malaysia, not just the infrastructure in terms of players, but we've done a lot to grow the culture of cricket in Malaysia, and that's really impressive. They've hosted a few ICC events. They're continuous haven for ACC events as well. They have some incredible facilities stationed across all 7 states, and they're very, very good, hospitable hosts as well whenever there's visitors around. So lovely country to be in, and a lot of cricket expected with a lot of the diaspora placed in these countries as well. It will be lovely to see Malaysian cricket grow over the next few years.
Oh, Manikandan starts with a rank long hop, and that should have been treated with a lot more disdain, to be honest. Looked like a good shot, but no real wheels behind it. So just couple of runs. Usually, Manikandan is known for a very, very venomous googly. That is, his leg spinner doesn't turn a lot, but his googly turns massively well. There comes the googly, and well picked by the batter Sahadat Ramil there. Played it late, played it underneath his eye, so that tells you he's watching the hands of Manikandan. Bit of a leading edge, top edge, but down to the no man's land. So just a run. Just to finish the point in terms of the infrastructure that we noticed in Malaysia cricket, with that the power play is done and dusted as well. In terms of the infrastructure, what was superbly impressive is the kind of investment that they have put on in terms of their ground staff, their groundsmen, in terms of their curator, because a lot of these countries who are up and coming in terms of their cricketing infrastructure perhaps invest a lot in terms of their players, their facilities, but the way they have maintained those grounds, that's been really impressive, and we're seeing that again here at Johor.
Yeah, the standards of the cricketing grounds, as you pointed out, not beyond the cricketing realm of it, they're also very good broadcast facilities. Especially the Biomass Oval, the home of Malaysian cricket, has been a league apart in terms of the broadcast avenues it provides as well. So they're opening up for cricket, not just in terms of playing platform, but also as a promoting platform. And a lot of visitors have come and gone happy. One of those visitors, of course, is Karthik Manikandan, bowler you're seeing on screen. Very interesting story of his origins as well. Comes from a drops it short this time, but nothing happening. Karthik, of course, comes from a very deeply rooted cricketing family. Very spoken about relationship he's had with his father, Shanmugam Manikandan, who was a cricket coach and also his primary mentor across his life. And was early spotted by his father for his ability to spin the ball, Manikandan, and eventually making his debut at the ripe age of 17 in the Tamil Nadu Premier League. He's played for Salem, he's played in India B under 19 squad as well. That man on screen, Sanjay Yadav, he's gone one notch up and he's an IPL representative as well. Serious talent in that Seahawks team, Baba.
Oh, really, it is. And 5 overs are done, 3 down for 30. These two batters finally getting a partnership going. What that does, when you're exposed to that kind of high-level bowling, Yusuf, as a batter, you then know after that innings the areas you need to go back and work on, because you're straight away found out, not in a negative connotation, but you're found out in a manner that you want to expand your game. So somebody like Shahadat Ramil right now, who's predominantly staying leg side of the ball, will perhaps go back after this innings, have a word with somebody like a Dave Watmore or other batting coaches out there, and understand, how can I get onto the line of the ball and play to different areas here. Those are the things you're looking at from this game. Yeah, go on, Yusuf.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I wanted to just add on to what you were saying there as well. See, Malaysia cricket has invested heavily, and they do have the facilities with the bowling simulators, the bowling machines. They can bowl at those exact lengths, the exact speeds, but nothing really can replicate that cognitive battle that you have with your opponent bowler. That's a battle of wits. It's not just a battle of skill, and that is what really gets found out when you come to these match situations.
Arm ball, Sanjay almost delayed that appeal, thinking it's very straight. But I think it's a good call from the umpire. Looked like it was too straight, so could have been going down the leg side. Again, a level of umpiring so far has been spot on here. Last ball of what has been a tight over so far. A little bit of wayward ball from Sanjay. Down the leg side will be a couple of runs. Will be also, leg by is being signaled. And with that, that should be the end of 6 overs as we continue our chat in Malaysia's continued effort to really enrich their cricketing culture, their infra. All three on the board, 3 down for 33 as Malaysia 11 look to chase this mammoth total here. Just to add more to the previous point that Yusuf mentioned, something that we have seen time and again in that cognitive battle, Yusuf, what also happens is that your subconscious game expands. So a lot of the times you might learn a particular type of a cut shot or a particular type of a flick shot, but depending on the situation, depending on the particular angle on that particular day, you will perhaps invent a slight different version of that particular shot. That is, so you will be, allowing your subconscious to help you out in these kind of situations. He's picked the googly this time around, and he's hit that with the turn on offer. No elevation, just one.
Absolutely. I think when it comes to a game of cricket, it really boils down to instinct. As a batter, you really don't have the time to sit back in your crease and think and then play a shot when the ball is bowled. It comes down to the hours of practice that you put in, and it eventually reflects in the kind of cricket you play. When you are exposed to this kind of skilled bowling, it really helps you figure out where you need to improve, and it's really good. It's really good for this Malaysian 11.
Which is why I'm absolutely okay with these two taking their time out there in the middle. They're pushing the fielder. Manikandan has got it back onto the stumps. But by the time the batter was back for the second two, which is why I'm absolutely okay with these two taking their time here. It's a first game of the tournament. It's the first hit that they're getting against quality bowling after a while. So it just makes sense that they've played 14, 15 balls between themselves. Yes, the required run rate has gone beyond 15, but we're not just looking at that required run rate. We're looking at the required skills that they need overall from this particular tournament. Slog sweep will just be one more.
And also, neither of them are spring chickens. Shahadat Ramli has been in the scene for quite some time. 32 years of age. He's a very experienced campaigner for Malaysian cricket. Plays as an all-rounder, and he will know how important this exposure is. He could be part of something bigger. This time takes it on the full, slapped it with utter disdain. That is what we were talking about earlier as well. Wait for the loose ball and crack it with some serious authority. That is perhaps the best hit of the game, Baba.
Absolutely. What you need to notice in that replay and what I love the most is the way he cleared that front leg. At the point of contact, that front leg was outside leg stump, clearing the back path so that he could send it way over. And as you mentioned, one of the biggest hits we have seen all day. That will give a lot of cheer to this batting partnership, and they will know couple of hits like that, and once again they are up and running in this run chase. Overdone. 7 overs completed. 3 down for 49 right now. Malaysia 11. Here is Sanjay once again. He's got a slip in position. Bottom of the bat. Nothing much there. The right-hander can actually try and rotate the strike here and see if Sanjay can then bowl to the left-hander. In fact, the right-hander has slog swept that one towards cow corner for 4. Beg your pardon, it was 43 the previous over. Now with that boundary, that should be 4 more to total. It's 47 for 3 now.
Malaysia now knocking on the door. It's still in place. Yadav to continue, drops it full. This is a shot of authority, and the fielder will watch it sail over the infield. The umpire will raise both his arms. Malaysia slowly but surely picking up some momentum. You see that difference, Baba, a bit of time at the crease can give.
Gigantic ball striking, as you mentioned, Yusuf. Bit of time, and both of them now are not just hitting sixes, they're hitting tall and long sixes. Sanjay being put under the hammer. He responds with a quicker ball. Typical of any spinner. Once the run rate goes up, the pace goes up too. And that cuts the turn. So these two have done really well. Taken a bit of time and now taking the bowlers to the cleaners. Slapped it for just a run.
You can see that spring in the step Malaysian batters. They're happy to freely move their feet. They're clearing that front leg when they're accessing the leg side. They're moving away from the crease to make room on the offside. They're very convinced in their stroke play. The bat swing is coming in with a lot more conviction. It's lovely to see when batters are set. It's really lovely when they're in full song.
Now, can Amir Azim now maximize that matchup and find another big shot to end this over? Now, he just wanted to rotate the strike here. Soft hands there through the offside, and good running, good aggressive running. So that is 12 from the previous over. Finally, they're getting a move on here. 8 overs are done, 3 down for 55. Malaysia 11. Looks like it's time for drinks. Yes, we are back after the drinks break as Manikandan starts with a googly and he's been helped over the deep fielder. Outstanding bit of ball striking this from Amir Azim here. Went down on one knee and he's hit that one deep towards the side screen for a maximum. That'll put the pressure on Karthik Manikandan here. 6 of the first ball. Can they make this into a really big over? The 20-run over they've been waiting for. Oh, poor ball. Overpitched. Played with the turn. Will be one bounce for 2. 6 and a 4 to really make sure that after drinks break, Malaysia 11, they have the upper hand and they are well on their way to get that really big chunky over that they need the most here.
Well, you could argue that it's a little too much, a little too late. In comes Manikandan once again. But with taking your hat off to Malaysia is that they'll take a lot of heart from this performance. They haven't gone down like many would have expected them to at the outset of the kind of skill they're up against. They came back strong with their bowling. They started well, slumped in their batting, but they're now back. They'll take a lot of heart from how they've strung together a performance that they can take, that they can keep their heads high with.
Oh yes, 18 for 3 at one point of time, and now this partnership has taken them to 66. Oh, looks like a very good strike too. Flat bats that one. Another 6 in this over. We asked for a 20-run over. They are providing it. Manikandan getting a bit of tap here.
Well, I think he heard us, Baba. He heard us saying that they're going down. Like, hold up. They are not going down yet, is the word from the center.
Absolutely. 38 balls, round about 100 needed. You can't count them out on a good surface. 2 batters set. Got to also take your hat off to Karthik Manikandan. Even after being thrashed and smashed, he's still flighting the ball, still inducing a big shot. And hopefully he will be trying to bowl that googly once again to Amir. Can Amir find another boundary? There comes the googly. Yes, it's going towards that boundary rope, but will be cut off by the deep cover fielder. Couple of runs. Biggest over of the innings comes right after the drinks break. 9 overs are done. 3 down for 75 now. Racing along Malaysia 11.
Very good run rate is that they managed to put together Malaysia. They were at below a run a ball at the end of the 6th over. But in the last 3 overs, they've racked up some real good runs. And the game is looking very competitive now.
Yes, 20 run over. That last one. And that leaves out 98 to get from these 6 overs. If they can produce back-to-back 20-run overs, you'll have to say Seahawks will be under some pressure. Even if it's not a 20-run over, if they can just match that run rate, bring out another 15-run over, even then they will be delighted. New bowler introduced. More spin. Oh, that looked like it was really away from the hitting arc. Exactly. Late call, good call from the umpire. Wide. Could have actually left that one too. That too was challenging that white line way outside off. He's actually bowling way outside off here, Yusuf.
Absolutely. This time Hit hard, hit into the gap, and that'll be 6 more. This is some really good cricket by Malaysia. But I'm really impressed is how they've managed to keep the runs flowing without losing any wickets. It's really good to see the kind of skill on display here.
You can understand why Karthikeyan was hiding with that wide line, because as soon as he's come to the stumps, he's been dispatched over cow corner. Oh, he's gone the other way right now. Supreme white ball skills as he switches and gets the boundary towards that third region.
Full side out of the rabbit on that occasion. Didn't expect that Karthikeyan kept it in that fourth stump line and swiveled across and slapped it with some conviction, the batter. Malaysia, they have not given up by any means.
Bowled quicker into the surface, squared him up there. No, they're far away from giving up. In fact, right now, they look like they're well on course. 20 run over from the previous one. This looks like this could be that 15 run over that they wanted to back it up. Massive spin. Massive amount of spin on offer, which is why he didn't get any bat onto that. Let's see if that for final ball, he can actually target the offside, go inside out maybe with the spin. Missed it. And that's a good comeback from Karthikeyan. That looked like it was well on course to be a 15 run over, restricts that to a 11 run over. Job done. 10 overs are done, 3 down for 86, Malaysia 11, needing 87 more from the last 5.
They need to score twice as much runs they've scored from half as much overs they've used. Huge ask from the Malaysians, but the last 4 overs have indicated anything is possible.
Oh, you're right. And Jagdishan and the Seahawks, they've been forced to ring the changes here. They had to bring back their pacer. Dhruva returns. Never easy. 2 set batters on a good surface with the older ball. Dhruva goes into the surface but wayward, and look at the expression of the batter. He knows that was 4 or at least a 6 for the taking there, and he missed out. But we'll get the extra ball there, Yusuf.
Was served on a silver platter and asking to be hit. And you don't want to miss out on those when you're chasing a big score like this. But supposed to see the intent as well, Baba. They've not given up.
No, and you can straight away see the Seahawks being put under a lot of pressure. Short balls, over-pitched balls, that happens when the batters are going well. Oh, slapped it, but hasn't got the power behind it. Good catch. Got underneath that one, then rolled over to, made sure that the ball was in control. So that means it is the end of a fine partnership here. Remember, Malaysia 11 were tottering at 18 for 3. And these two have lifted them to 87 for 3. As finally, they've lost their 4th wicket.
Absolutely. And you got to give the commiserations to Manikandan as well. Because that ball was travelling and he was running back. Did very well to maintain his balance and keep hold of the ball. Very good catch. Made it look easy. But change is working. For Jagdishan, immediately brought on the fast bowler and he delivers what was expected of him. Now then the equation is a bit more tough for Malaysia. 4 overs and 5 balls left and a new batter in the crease. 86 more to get. Not easy.
Yes, not easy at all, but the perfect launch pad that the lower order batters could have asked for. That's what that partnership has done. You know for a fact that batters coming in right now will just have one objective: clear the front leg and clear the boundaries. Dhruva. He's got some wheels there. And you need that. With the older ball on this surface that is flat as a pancake, you need some pace to back your skills. And soon enough, because he's bowling quick right now, he might go to the change-ups as well and then confuse the new batter. So it's not going to be easy.
Absolutely. I think on a wicket that's not offering too much, all of the effort and all of the X factor needs to come from the bowler itself. And there's no better X factor than express pace. And you can see the consequences of which take the ball up in the air. But umpire switches his right arm out. No ball. Not the first time Ram has done that.
Yes, that's why he's quietly gone back to the run-up once again, marking it for the umpteenth time as he will get ready to deliver the free hit. Good opportunity for the new batter once again to make sure that he can convert this free hit. Better shot, much better shot. Like a tracer bullet, the pickup shot goes for 6.
Absolutely. Ball got up to him and he helped it on its way. This is good batting by Malaysia. Now the required run comes down to just 80 of the last 27 balls and required run rate of nearly 16.5. And it's not going to be easy, but Malaysia showing signs that it could be not too difficult either. We'll have to wait and see because none of the bowlers, bar that first over by Kishore, have really threatened any of the Malaysian batters despite holding them back.
Oh,
My
much better
goodness.
shot. Go on, Yusuf.
My
Much better shot.
goodness. That was a shot, a biggie. The new batter says, welcome to Malaysia. On a length, leaned into it and cracked the coconut open. And the ball was sent straight into the side screen.
Would you say Yusuf shot of the day?
Absolutely. I think that shot earlier comes into contention where Ramlat cleared his front leg, but this one, top draw.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta imagine if Malaysia 11, they've got this kind of firepower batting down the order, then only if some of their top order batters would have applied slightly better, they would have been in a much better situation. Maybe at least 20 run ahead of where they are, and then this would have been a much gettable score. Thickish outside edge will perhaps go over the third fielder. Or do they have that third fielder back? They do, which is why it's just a single, but that could have been easily been another boundary. Tremendous batting this is from Malaysia 11, although they lost a wicket in that over. But they've gone past the triple figure magic number. 4 down for 103 right now, needing 70 from the last 4.
Well, Karthikeyan to continue was taken to the cleaners in the previous over, but Jagadisan deciding to stick with him. Comes Karthikeyan to Mohammad. This time doesn't give him too much room to work with. And the angle he is coming makes sure that the batsman has to offer something.
Oh yes, matchup in favour as well, and we know that he's got power to burn. So all he's looking for is that length. If he can get underneath that length, oh look at that flat bat. That's been creamed towards that longer fielder who's a lot straighter, keeps it down to just 1.
70 of 22, not unheard of. In fact, 69 of 22, not unheard of. Possible. T20 cricket has seen more being chased down in less time. Malaysia will be really optimistic about their fortunes.
Brilliant. It looked like that was racing away towards that deep fine leg boundary. It was played with some craft by the set batter. But what it does, it brings the left-hander on strike, and that's not a bad result. From the remaining 3 balls, if he can power 2 out of the ground, they're still in it. Here is one of them. Bye-bye ball. Big 6.
You ask and I deliver, is what the batter told you, Baba. You asked for a big one. There you go. Looking really, really solid here, the left-hander.
Needs to back it up now, Yusuf. Expect a ball that will be dragged for that back of the length. Wayward will be a wide. So Karthikeyan being put under the pressure. Expect that same length, but the line will be a lot straighter. So if he can once again clear the front leg and target cow corner. Instead, he's done better. He's come down the track and launched it over long off. We wanted a couple of 6. He's actually on course to get a few more.
Wrist power, immaculate. Stepped down the ground and swiped it with the swordic precision of a ninja. And the ball was slashed through to power. 6 more runs to the Malaysian total. This is some serious batting now. 28 of 10 already.
Oh, bad ball. Cow corner is the area we wanted for the previous ball. He's gone this time. But he's missed out on that over-pitch loopy ball. Irrespective, another chunky over. Hold on to your hats. 54 from the last 3 overs. Very, very gettable now.
18 runs an over is something that they've achieved quite a few times in these innings now, Malaysia. They will back themselves up and Dhruv Ram to continue. And it's the same batter who cleaned him the last over on strike. And I'm pretty sure I can tell you, Baba, that it's the bowler who's under pressure here, not the batter.
Oh, spot on. Since the drinks break, 20 run over, 11 run over, 17 run over, 16 run over. Into the surface, slower delivery. That's beaten Jagdishan as well. They will come back for the second. Oh, in fact, that's gone all the way to the boundary. Unforced error from Dhruva here.
You have to do better. You are an Indian test wicket keeper and there had to be taken. Jagdishan, he is let himself and his team down there on that occasion.
That tells you it was that good a change-up that it beat the batter and the keeper. This time the batter was ready for that change-up. He slapped it straight, but no power behind it. This is the kind of bowling we saw from Sam Curran in that third one-day international when England faced India in Lords. Into the surface, slow bowling, off-cutter bowling. He bowled a lot of moon balls as well, which was difficult to hit when you're looking to power down the ground. Maybe the right-hander will have a better say with the ball now coming back into his stumps. Can he find the boundary? Looks like he can. But instead, he's found the fielder. Yusuf, he must be really disappointed. That was there for the taking.
That was there to be taken all 8 days of the week, Baba. Ball sitting up on a comfortable pace at a comfortable height. Boundary was written all over it. He'll be disappointed that he couldn't maximize that. Big over it should have already been. Onus is on the batter to try and effect at least 10 to 12 more runs of this over.
Akram has been fooled once again with that into the surface bowling, bottom of the bat. Nothing more than that. Barring those 4 byes, Dhruva Ram has pulled things back brilliantly for the Hawks. Oh wait, hang on. Akram has actually denied the single. He wants to keep the strike.
Interesting.
And he's got underneath that one, but no distance. A lot of height. And they've come back for the second run. Maybe a catching opportunity, but what it does, once again, it keeps Akram on strike. So the game's still hanging in balance. If he gets a big hit here, it will be 40 from the last 2 overs. And they will still have a chance, but he needs a big shot here.
Absolutely. 4 or 6 imperative here. Very, very important that they get that big score.
There is power. There is plenty of power behind that one. 6 it is. So it will be 40 from the last 2 overs. Who would have thought? Gigantic, ginormous 173 to chase against a quality bowling attack. And Malaysia 11 find themselves in touching distance, dare I say. A remarkable bit of recovery and ball striking. Oh, wait. Dhruva has got another ball. Yeah, go on, Yusuf.
One more delivery left. Here's we come. The final delivery. Important in the context of the game. Wide of off stump. That's the sensible thing. Akram wants to keep strike. And 39 required of the last 12. This will be some sight to behold.
Yusuf, I got to be honest here. It's been a while I have seen the purity of the ball striking from Akram. It's not something that is, expected when you're so far behind the game to come out and really be the biggest samurai sword in that batting lineup. That has taken the Seahawks for a lot of surprise. 39 from 16.
Absolutely. It's been a knock for the ages. The kind of knock you'll talk to about your family for years to come. And, every match will be an opportunity for Malaysian cricket, and they've put on a fantastic account of themselves today. Even with the bowling, they came back strong, and with the batting, I can tell you it's the bowling team that's under pressure right now. New bowler, big ask. He's only going to get to bowl 1 over in this innings. Devan Lingesh Kumar. Let's see what he has up his sleeve. Oh my goodness! He's cleared his foot, slapped it across with some serious authority. Welcome to the crest, says Akram. Look at that, made some room, and the wrists did the rest, Baba.
Absolutely. Talk about the wrist, talk about the calypso flair of lifting the back leg as he made contact. And imagine the kind of pressure they've put on an experienced lineup like Seahawks that they are forced to bring a new bowler. Devan Lingesh dished up a real over-pitch delivery, and that has been thrashed. He's under pressure round the wicket. Length ball slapped towards long off. Will be back-to-back sixes. Malaysia 11 are roaring.
Regardless of the end result, they can hold their heads high. But this is some serious tonking. A win is well and truly on the cards. 27 of 10 is a Tuesday in T20 cricket. And anything loose, even Lingesh Kumar, it's not the right time given the amount of pressure to bring him on. Jagadisan got his move wrong. This time on the full, we'll try and come back for a second one here. This is good cricket. This is really, really good cricket.
Yusuf, he's got a half century in a blink of an eye. 18 ball half century. 19 ball 53 now for Akram. Terrific, tremendous bit of batting. We're running out of breath here because he has got them almost to the touching distance here. Good Yorker from Lingesh. Perhaps that is the ball, why he was given the ball. That particular ball, the wide Yorker, is why perhaps Divyan Lingesh was trusted. And go back to the first ball of that over, of this over, Yusuf, and it was the attempted Yorker that he missed by what? A smidgen, and that was put to the sword. But he's done well, Divyan, to come back and bowl that Yorker. Crucial couple of balls coming up. That's still fine.
Hit and hit,
Once again,
hit and hit really well, but fielder in place. Now then, very crucial delivery in the context of the innings. This has to go for a boundary because that will do two things. One, it will give them the runs and also keep Akram on strike. This is a literal free hit for Syed. Needs to get under the ball and try and maximize it. Jagadisan will be very aware of what he's trying to do here.
yes, he's asked the bowler to deliver a wide Yorker outside off Yusuf. Only problem is Devin shouldn't get it wide, way wide, that is. Yeah, that was my only fear. That was my only fear. Don't bowl extra balls here. Tell your bowler to finish this over and get out of here. That extra ball might just come back and haunt them.
Exactly. The more the bowler is forced to bowl extra balls, it's he who is going to be under more pressure. And it will be a huge ask for him to keep delivering the goods. Now then, Jagadisan has stuck to his guns. In comes Deeban Lingesh. Fuller, slower, lovely bit of bowling. You got to put your hat down because that was a serious comeback of the last four deliveries of the over. Perhaps telling of why he was initially brought onto the attack. Big last over coming up. 23 to get of the final over.
Yes, we have been thoroughly entertained. In the last 15 minutes or so, Akram has come out and lit up this entire ground with some scintillating stroke play. I expect him to take all the 6 balls here. Irrespective of if he finds the connection or not, Yusuf, how do you see it?
Absolutely, there's no second thoughts about that. There, Syed has done his part. There's not much he can do from now on. It's the specialty. Hand it over to the man who's had a day of his own here. And I can tell you, Kishore will be under lots of pressure because one loose ball and he'll have a lot to think about. In comes Kishore. Lovely, lovely bit of bowling.
Yeah, just got it away from the hitting arc of Akram. Yeah, he's just got to put that behind him and focus on the next one. He's still in it. 4 big shots wins him the game. But tell you what, 2 big shots puts tremendous amount of pressure on Kishore.
Absolutely, and I think the focus will be on trying to keep it away from Akram's hitting arc. Here comes Kishore, crucial delivery. Fuller, this is lovely. This is lovely. For a bowler who got hit for 2 sixes of his first deliveries, he's done really well in this game, Kishore. 3 overs and just 14 runs in his spell so far. Lovely.
Yeah, down to the last 4 balls here. And Akram needs to make a decision. Can he stand on off stump here so that he can get closer to that line? Can't miss anything else. Manikandan has taken the catch and has perhaps with that ended that fight back from Malaysia 11. He was standing just on off stump, shuffled across to access the ball under pressure. This is a sensational catch by the leg spinner.
was there to be hit. Was there to be hit and did the right move there, Akram. But as he takes his helmet off, we can all take our hat off, can't we? What an innings! An innings of high class from a high quality player.
Absolutely, Yusuf. Innings of the match. No two ways about it. Irrespective of the
Without a
result,
better
that is my player of the match performance, Akram. With the way he delivered that last over as well, if you go back to the first innings and the way he's come out and played a hand.
Absolutely, you could come in with a shout for Kishore or for Balasubramaniam, Sachin, but when it comes to the goods, delivered with the ball, opened the bowling, closed off the bowling, and played that important hand with the bat. You have to seriously consider Akram. This game was anything but close, only thanks to his contributions.
Oh, good looking shot in the gap. That will leave 19 more to get. But you're right. You're spot on, actually, Yusuf. If Kishore manages to perhaps pick up another wicket, it's all but sealed for the Hawks. But if he goes back to the dugout with a fifer in 15 over game, then that'll perhaps earn more points than Akram. But it's Akram's innings that got this game to a real interesting, nail-biting finish. Only before he got out.
Absolutely. This has been a game to save, Baba. Regardless of the result, I think you have to give Malaysia all the credit for making it closer than it should have been.
Absolutely. And in fact, their head coach, their batting coach, their entire team management will look at this game as a lost opportunity. Only if they were perhaps a little... Yes, I mean, only if they were perhaps slightly more disciplined with the ball in hand to begin with. I can understand there would have been nerves, but if they perhaps bowled slightly better inside the first 4-5 overs, they were comfortably winning this game.
Wait. Now we have something to think about because that was a no ball. Immediately called off the umpire. But unfortunately, no boundary on that occasion.
Yes, and you can see how slim this margin has become.
I think
only six.
During Malaysia, during Seahawks innings as well. In comes the final delivery of the innings. They'll try and go for a big one, clears the foot and goes hard on the offside. That'll be the end of it. We were speaking, Baba, how that bit of complacency earlier in Malaysia's bowling innings would come back to haunt them. And boy, it has, despite a valiant fight back. But they can hold their heads high as they walk out of the Johor Oval.
Yes, as the covers come in gushing once again, we have had a game to remember. It was the Hawks who wanted to bat first and they put on a show. 172 for 4. We thought that's a bridge too far not to be. In came Mohammad Akram, 54 from 24. Played the innings of a lifetime, dare I say. And it's Kishore Ji's efforts of finishing with 4 for 22 that has eventually sealed the deal for the Hawks, who have won this first of the T20 game by 14 runs.
Absolutely. It's been an innings. Amit Satwik and Jagadisan with that heck of a start earlier. Both of them combined putting up 75 runs of just 42 deliveries. But Sachin Balasubramaniam kept the momentum going. Malaysia did well in the form of Amir and Akram to push back and eventually come back with a good score. But talk about that fight back. 54 of 24. That's the number you need to look at. Muhammad Akram, game changer, took Malaysia to the brink of victory. And Muhammad Syed played his part along with Muhammad Amir in holding that Malaysian innings and building that innings back again into what Muhammad Akram eventually transferred it into. But kudos to Kishore, who up front was taken to the cleaners of his very first few deliveries, but then came back really strong to pick up a 4-wicket haul and drew a run. 1 for 33 in his overs, and even Lingesh Kumar got the job done in that penultimate over. But as Seahawks walk with the winning points, it will be Cricket Malaysia who will walk with a lot of heart and a lot of learnings and a lot of joy. But a slight bit of regret that it was their own blame that they let the game too much out of their hands, Baba.
Absolutely, and more the reason for all of you all. Thank you for joining us today, and do tune in tomorrow, that is, because Malaysia 11 will be hurting and they would love to get one up on the Seahawks for the second game, that is, of this T20 series. Yusuf will be joining you all once again. You'll have Deepesh Shule on the other side of the voice. But for now, from Babashish, from Yusuf, from the entire production crew here, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.